Hello, my name is Makiya Williams, and I'll be sharing the horrific and regretful death of Sean Bell. Sean Bell was a black, unarmed 23-year-old man who was shot and killed on his wedding day outside of a club November 25th, 2006. Sean and his friends were about to exit his bachelor party when one of his friends announced that he wanted someone to get his gun, since there was another man whom he had an argument with. While there, an undercover cop, Isnora, overheard this and instantly thought to act by following the men and informed the other officers. Isnor approached them while they were in the car and claims to have held up his badge, letting them know that he was in fact a police officer. Sean's in the driver's seat, and Officer Isnor is still trying to stop them, but Sean accelerates the car and strikes Isnor, but also ends up colliding with the police minivan. Officer Isnor claims to have seen one of Sean's friends reaching for a gun, which ended with continuous gunfiring, 50 rounds from 5 officers to be exact, with 4 of them hitting Sean in the neck and torso, killing him.
42, 43, 44, 49, 50 shots. 50 shots, indict the cops. 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 No justice, no peace.
I believe that the Second Amendment was violated by Officer Isnor. Yes, it was said that one of Bell's friends was getting a gun, but things escalated quickly before it could have been proven that the gun was in possession of any of the victims. But if there was a gun, it should not have been a problem, since the Second Amendment gives citizens the rights to bear arms. The officers should have verbally consulted with the men instead of assuming things. The civil liberties of the citizen were also violated, since the right to privacy and the right to equal treatment under the law was not shown. Privacy was a big one because the officers could have observed from a good distance and spectated the situation instead of viciously opening fire on the men.
A judge found the 3 police detectives charged in the case not guilty on all counts. Michael Oliver and guest card Isnora both faced manslaughter charges, assault, and reckless endangerment. Detective Mark Cooper was accused of reckless endangerment.
Protests broke out and caused major amounts of chaos because of the events and how it turned out.
Indicted, not just the 3 of them, we want all 5 of the officers to be indicted. We're going to continue to rally and we're going to continue to protest until that is done. In these 3 indictments, it should have been 5 indictments, not just 3. We are tired of this system constantly walking over us, not only one time by murdering us, by not allowing us to get justice for our children. We have to prosecute these cops for murder, for Sean Bell, and for all the rest of these victims.
There were many things that were said about Sean's death in the media.
Today, I was hoping he would have been a baseball player because he was really into baseball. I mean, heavy. Baseball, all electrician, either or. But, I think he'd have been happy, especially with his 2 girls. Oh, man, he'd have been very happy, And I would have enjoyed that. I wouldn't have get headaches all the time, more. Yep.
Is reckless manslaughter.
As anticipation builds before the verdict in the Sean Bell shooting death trial, Reverend Al Sharpton rallied with family members and supporters on the steps of City Hall in Manhattan Wednesday.
The verdict in this case will tell us whether we are going to see a New York, that citizens and police must be held accountable for their acts.
Pleading for action against the cops who fired 50 bullets at Bell's car, Sharpton spoke side by side with family members and the 2 men in the car that night.
To hear what went on in that courtroom, it was very disgraceful, But you not only did it to my son, you did it to me and my family, and the people who was with him.
It's going to go one of 2 ways. Either we'll get justice for Sean Bell, or they'll condone the execution of Sean Bell. Either way, we'll be there. We got to go to federal court with the new prosecutor. We'll be there too.
Nothing will ever bring Sean back. But hopefully, I pray that if the right decision is made Friday, this will help any other family from suffering the way we have.
Nicki Minaj also mentioned Sean Bell in one of her songs called New York Minute.
And it gotta be a heaven, cause Sean Bell will never get to make it to his wedding.
To prevent this incident from happening again, I believe that officers should consider the citizens' privacy and make sure that when they're suspicious of something, they are sure that there is an actual threat. This incident made me believe that there are many cases that involve innocent victims who are perceived as the criminals in their cases. I also feel bad for Sean Bell's family. At the time, his fiancée was woken up just to get the news that she needed to be at the hospital because something happened to Sean. His daughters were also so young and did not understand what happened, and that makes this whole situation even worse. Even though there are some events that have occurred like this in present time, I just hope that there aren't any in the future. Thank you for watching.